Jim Parsons, actor, thespian, all-around great guy, also has a new radio show. It's called Jim Parsons is Too Stupid for Politics. This guy's doing it all. And he's also in Hidden Figures, up for 3 Academy Awards. We discovered him. I don't think too many people knew who Jim Parsons was. And then he stumbled into Big Bang Theory, played God on Broadway, has more money than God right now, and we brought him on this program. Jim, good morning. How are you?
God, I'm heavenly. How are you?
I'm spectacular. Are you nervous about the Academy Awards?
No. I think it'll be just another glorious evening in Hollywood. I don't know. No, it'll be exciting. It'll be really fun. I'm going alone. It's a really hard ticket to get, so they only got me one. So I'm going stag.
Have you been before?
No, I've never been before. I've been to, there's this a party that a lot of people go to. It's called the Evening Before Party. It benefits the movie fund for actors and stuff in retirement and when they're sick and stuff. And a lot of people go to that. So it's kind of a star-studded thing, but I imagine this will be a little more star-studded, a little more jaw-dropping, but we'll see.
Who would you want to meet at the Academy Awards?
Oh, God, who do I want to meet? I have trouble meeting people outside of work that are other actors. Like I admire, like this party I'm talking about I've gone to, and it's thrown by the Katzenbergs, Jeffrey Katzenberg of DreamWorks, and his wife Marilyn, and they're really sweet, and his wife is especially good about, she's like, there's Meryl Streep over there. Do you want to meet her? And I'm like, no, not right now. I mean, what am I just falling over her? And so it's kind of hard. I feel like it would be accidentally stumbling upon somebody and going, oh, I'm in a conversation with you. How nice. But otherwise, I kind of just hover around until I actually meet somebody during work. Like I got to meet Kevin Costner during the Hidden Figures thing, but I would have never just gone up to him. That's weird. Maybe that's social anxiety on my part.
Well, everybody thinks it's mutual admiration society, so you sort of know each other because you're all famous, and so you walk up and say, hey, Will Ferrell, how are you?
And there are times where I guess that's sort of true, but at the same time, it's not the majority. At least it's not for me. It's like, I'm not going to go bother somebody. I don't even know if they'd feel like that, but I always feel like that. Like, oh, I love your work. I don't know.
But people, now you know what it's like to be a fan, to come up to you. And
that's true. That's true, and that should make life easier for me on the other end because I think it's very sweet when people come up to me. I don't know, Dan. I got problems. I got major problems mentally, and so it's not working out. I want to ask you about how would that work? How would you ever get a show like Dan Lebitard to come on your show while he's doing his? That would be an amazing. Could you simulcast that?
Yeah.
You could both talk on both shows at the same time, couldn't you?
Well, I once offered that to Jim Rome in Tampa at the Super Bowl. Was it San Diego or Tampa, Paul?
San Diego, we ran into him.
Okay, and then I went by Jim Rome, and he's ready to go on his show, and I was ready to go on mine, and then he said, why don't you, if you want to come on my show? I said, well, come on my show at the same time. We'll do an interview. And he said, no, I can't do that. So I did try to do that with Jim Rome.
That's goofy. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, he didn't think so. But look at you. You're like a radio producer now. I like this. You got your own show. Jim Parsons is too stupid for politics?
Yeah.
How much politics do you discuss?
Well, like we started off, it's really been weird. I'm trying to talk about things going on in a way that keeps it a little more factual, a little less partisan, a little less venomous, a little less heated. Mm-hmm. And that part's not been hard. Like I'm kind of having fun doing that because it's so easy to get passionately wrapped up one way or the other when you hear any bit of news. And so it's really nice to have this kind of checkpoint that now built in where I'm like, well, don't go that way, so you can just try and hear it. So that part's not hard, but it's been hard is like anything we talk about. Like last week we talked about health care and the Affordable Care Act, and the week before that it was like about the immigrant ban / travel pause, whatever you want to call it, and these issues get so deep and so it's like I only got 45, 50 minutes total by the time you count the commercials and everything, and I feel like we go in with 20 questions and we come out with 100, I don't know. I find it very complicated. But see, I told you I'm stupid in the title, and so if I didn't answer a damn thing, well, what were you expecting? What were you looking for?
Who would you want to interview on your show?
You know, I really like a lot of people that may not be overly useful to me because it would probably lean more partisan. I'm a big fan of two people who I have been on sort of different sides of the spectrum, but like Rachel Maddow and Megyn Kelly. I really like both of them a lot, but I feel like you've already taken a side just to start the conversation. But I think you could have a conversation that's just like, how does your job go? What's it like to collect news during the day? How do you decide what stories to cover? I think that'd be interesting. I'm a real I just admire all those people that do that kind of stuff. I am going to talk to an ex-press secretary today. He was Clinton's press secretary, and I guess that has a partisan bent just because he was for Clinton, a Democrat. But at the same time, it's more just to kind of hear the inner workings of what it's like to be in that room, especially now.
But there's nothing wrong with letting people understand the process. We had Obama's press secretary on, the last
Which
day.
Which one? Who'd you have? Ernest? Gibbs?
Josh Ernest.
Ernest?
Yeah, we had him on his final day, but we talked about leaving the White House and the process of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like people want these hot takes, that they want you to have an opinion. You have to put something out there that they can bite into.
Right.
And you can't, just serve up the same meal every day. And that's the hard part. And I tell anybody who does this job, are you willing to put yourself out there?
Right.
And if you're not, then I would tell you it's probably not the business for you. And somebody criticizing you.
Right.
But it's difficult to do. I'm surprised you're doing it, putting yourself in that position.
Well, I am too. As I've said a couple of times, as I kept talking about this for a few months leading up to it, I realized at a certain point that subconsciously I was waiting for somebody to go, "This is a terrible idea. Stop it." And nobody ever did. And so now I'm here. I mean, look, I could quit this, and they wouldn't shed a tear over Sirius XM.
No, it's not breaking news. He's not quitting. He said he could quit, Paulie. Kind of jumped the gun there a little bit there.
Did he play the music?
Yeah, the breaking news.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm really glad, even if it was not true, I'm really glad to be a part of it. But I really do, and this is the fine line you're talking about. I mean, the reason I'm still stupidly, bravely going forward is because of my goal, which is to keep things at a level that the premise is never to purposely take too much stance on anything. It's really trying to dig into, because like you say, if it's not sexy, if it's not interesting, it's not worth hearing. That's kind of, especially with regards to voting and politics, that's a problem, because that means that you skip over the meat of a lot of things and you go straight to battle. And there are times I don't have a take on, like you can't have a take. Me either, because I don't understand it.
Yeah. We're talking to Jim Parsons, Big Bang Theory, of course, Hidden Figures up for 3 Academy Awards. If Hidden Figures wins, do you go on stage?
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I was just saying to somebody last night, like, where are you sitting? And I said, I really don't know. And it could be very, very far back. But I said, I don't think it will be, because I feel like any time there's a Best Picture winner, everyone makes it up on stage from the cast in a reasonable amount of time.
It would be bad, Jim, if
jumping over balconies and somebody catch me. I want to get up there.
It'll look bad if everybody's up there and then they're waiting and waiting.
Right as the music kicks in for the goodbye, I'm like, "Hi, everybody." Breathless and sweaty.
Is there something that you could get a program, maybe something for the man cave here? I mean, we're not going to get
from the Oscars.
Yeah, you got something?
Well, I'll
maybe?
look. Now that you've said it, I'll look.
Yeah, be nice.
I wasn't gracious enough to think of getting you anything before you asked. Now that you've asked,
even a napkin from.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm fine
maybe
with that.
Maybe something from the governor's ball or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I will do. I'm going to have to write that on my hand, or I'm going to forget it, I'm sure. No offense, but it's just an overwhelming time, as you can imagine. But yeah, I'm definitely. What a pleasure that would be to get something for the man cave from the Oscars.
And get a selfie with Meryl Streep. Just go do it.
Oh, Christ. I have met her since then. You know she's going to be just burdened with people hanging all over her all weekend.
Okay, do you give a handshake or do you give a hug?
To who?
To Meryl Streep. When you meet her, do you hug her?
I take her cues.
And
I'm approaching thinking I should probably embrace her, but that's just because of my feelings of a person I mostly know from screen, not from real life.
Yeah.
And if she's like, I don't know what diseases you have, please keep it a foot distance. Then we'll just shake. But I would take her cue. I can't remember if I hugged her before. I met her in a more intimate gathering at her last movie because my castmate Simon was in it with her. So it was a good way to meet her. But
all right. Well, don't screw up.
I'll try not to, Dan.
And we're proud of you, and we'll be rooting for you. I want to see you on stage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll feel like
there.
you're waving to us when you're on stage.
That's what it'll be. When I tug my ear like Carol Burnett, you'll know who it's for.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.